I'm going to break on Facebook today. Oh, I posted it on my Facebook yesterday. I only lurk on social networks because they've all been weaponized. Let's discuss that one for a moment.
Yeah.
You know what weaponization means? It's your cell phone. Everything is requiring you to use a cell phone right now because of secondary or two-step verification. That's a good word to use. And you need to get it as a text on your cell phone. Well, at 6 gigahertz, T-Mobile charges you on the fly. You can get it quick, but it also makes your cell phone hot. At 7.3 gigahertz, it turns it into an 8-foot bomb where it explodes. And oh, guess what? It's got GPS that even when you turn it off, it's tracking you. That means they can use you to take somebody else out at any moment they want to. And watch what they do next with that one.
So have you been keeping track of gold and silver prices? I mean, you probably have, right? I've been talking about gold and silver now for years. Huge fan of gold and silver. And so when was the last time you actually held your investment? Not checked an app, not waited for a 6-digit code. I mean, physically held it in your hand. That's one of the things I love about gold and silver. They're real, they're tangible, and they're yours. You don't need a password, no logins. And in a world that's getting more digital, more abstract, and more complicated, gold is simple, and so is silver. That's why we're seeing a massive shift into precious metals as everything moves to the cloud, moves to the web, have to have a second reference via code to your phone. Well, when you've got gold and silver at your house or somewhere safe, you know it's there, it's secure, and it's yours. Real ownership is becoming more rare by the day. And if you want to see what it looks like for yourself, check out noblegoldinvestments.com. Let them know Rex from Leak Project sent you. Give them a call, 877-646-5347. Imagine something happens to the grid. Imagine something happens to where you don't have access to the internet, where all your money is in a 401k or an IRA. If you've got gold and silver, that's one of the concerns you won't have. And if you qualify, find out how. It's very simple. Just say, hey, how do I qualify for that free gold coin? You can see behind me, this is a 10th ounce of solid gold. This is American Gold Eagle, and this will be gifted to you as a thank you when you convert your 401 or IRA if you qualify. And ask about the free wealth protection kit. You'll be glad you did. And let's get back to this interview right now. Nanu.
How's that feel?
7 gigahertz, you said? 7.2?
7.3.
Okay.
7.3 gigahertz is where it turns into a weapon. It blows up.
When you say blows up, like
when I do 5G, you're getting close. No cigar. Oh, guess what? That technology already exists. Just like I did a thing to my webmaster this morning about the congressman in Tennessee that says, of course aliens are real. How could they not be? They're part of your imagination. If you can imagine it as possible, it not only is true, it's even more than that. And that's why I also say man has a responsibility for the thoughts he chooses to entertain. You use your mind as a tool, not an absolute. That's why meditation and training that mind is important. And why writing it down, going from right to left brain, allows you a time travel aspect. These are things that need to be considered that I discovered on my own way back when as your lead scout, and knowing I don't know what I'm doing. And I now realize I'll never really know what's happening when I die. I've spent 2 weeks in the jungles with Eben Alexander, the guy that wrote Proof of Life, and his wife. And all of it is hallucination, just like when they took me into a future life. I was part of a triad. It's not real. It's what I can comprehend is real as a sugar ant in Gaia's kitchen.
Can you tell me more about that? Future life? Can you tell me more about that, your future life that you went into?
Well, yeah. In hypnotherapy, to become certified, you have to do a hypnosis, a serious hypnosis. And most people like to go into a past life, like with like Cleopatra or whatever, and they go into past life regression. Well, my teacher decided to take us into a future life instead. Same thing, only different. And I was part of a triad in a geometric vehicle. There were 3, not 2. It wasn't binary anymore. It was trinary, 3. And we were going into a geometry that was called Satchkan. You'll find that in the Upanishads. Now, was that real? No, not probably any more than even Alexander as a butterfly talking to his dead sister. Proof of life. There, what you can comprehend with your limited constructs of space, time, and other ways of looking at reality, which are not real, they're constructs. And why, when we had quantum mechanics measuring everything in space and time, because of Einstein and uncertainty principle with, Heisenberg, there's that wiggle room of showing, because it's a construct, that the more you know about the one part of it, the less you know about the other. And that's why the holographic system was developed. I did that back in 1972, the holographic concept of reality, presented in Prague. I didn't get a Nobel Prize, but basically it was a new way of looking at reality based on information rather than space and time. And the fractal formats were based on the resolution of information and the way it collapses down into itself or up out of itself, creating larger and lesser scaled models of the same universe. And the problem with it is there was a theorem in information theory that states if you have enough information to ask a coherent question, you have enough information to answer it. The actual answer lies in the framework of the question itself. And that's what information was, and why we use what we call fractals, which are generators like, Mandelbrot, Julia, or May generators, which are uniquely distinct from each other. There's a quantization between the one to the other, just like there is between a proton when it becomes a wave or a particle. And that doesn't get you there. And that's why now I'm working on a new model called the Multiverse. And all the chapters that happened, because this interview was supposed to be at 9:30 tonight, not 9:30 this morning.
I need to go back and look at that email, because I thought we agreed to AM, but anyway.
You did. I didn't notice it.
Okay.
And that's why I had to ask. And then I went back and looked while I was waiting for your response, because you were going to call me a couple days ago.
I was supposed to call you last night. And
that was another one. And before that, you had to work and because I wanted to figure out what we were going to talk about today, and I'm just winging it.
That's the best.
What I would really like to do is have you take from this interview a whole bunch of questions from your people that have different ways of looking at what I just said, and then send me those questions, and we'll do another radio show after I've prepared specific briefs, bang, 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 because each one of them that's listening right now has a different way of interpreting what I just said. And that's where the real advancement occurs.
Let's do this once a month. Let's no, seriously. I mean, if you're okay with it.
I'm 82 years old. Get a grip. Okay, sure. Oh, wait a minute.
If you want.
Okay, children, shall we play a little game? And that was another one live from New York. I love Saturday Night Live. That was when that Blick guy, played Mr. Rogers.
They used to be good, and then they got so political and just years.
Well,
but they used to be the best.
They were better in some ways. Chicago. Sorry, that was me doing a little bad naughty. I call it Chicago, and they had Fridays. Remember, with John Candy and Martin Short. I remember Martin Short was a druggie, pharmacist, popping his own pills. I can handle it. And then two midgets walked in. And oh no! Martin Short.
Remember when Dan Aykroyd almost cut his finger off playing playing that skit where he was actually doing a cooking show and he was a chick and he was cutting the turkey and then he cut his finger and blood started shooting all over the place. That's one of my favorite episodes.
Night Live, yeah. Saturn, New York is really creepy, and it changed. Their humor changed every 10 years. It was slightly different for the generational variations in what's funny and what's not. And I'm old. I smell bad. I'm rotting on the vine. But I have an opening skit for Saturday Night Live that would creep everybody out.
Put that into the universe, man. I hope that happens.
Well, if I get nominated for a Nobel Prize on this knot theory I'm using Kaufman's virtual knot. I'm going to tie, basically, knot theory is taking your 10-dimension string theory and adding a superstring, 11th dimension, that interconnects the 10 dimensions. And then I'm going to be a little Boy Scout and tie knots in them. You know, and my hangman's knot will absolutely have 13 turns in it. Snap the neck. That's what I do in math. I was a polymath is what I am.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I was thinking here, I was getting excited because Ramblin' Randy, when I was talking to him and he was boasting how you trained him and others in the Navy, he goes, yeah, DRAM. He goes, we used to call him DRAM back in the day. And he's so brilliant that there would be a whiteboard with all these symbols and equations on it. And he could break down, he could tell you what every single symbol and equation meant like it was nothing. He said, DRAM's ultimate goal isn't money. It's something far different, because if his ultimate goal was money, he would be rich. And I thought about that and I'm like, you're right. He's absolutely brilliant, but he does, like, money's you got to have money to survive.
Well, how did Robert Plant put it? I'm addicted to love. I wonder where all the
I love that song.
Well, you'll notice that the models that he's using when he did that are like AIs.
They are. They're all the same, huh?
And they no facial expression, just playing it with Cyndi Lauper and Madonna, materialistic girl. Addicted to money. You know,
yeah. Money.
Yeah. In 2010, I did 150 truckloads of ponderosa pine cone, which was a fire hazard in La Pine and Sisters, Oregon. And I sold it to the East Coast as kindling. What color would you like your fire starter, Mom? Every biosphere, and there are 6 of them in North America, have things that you can do and things that are bad and that you can't do in Florida or wherever you're, Denver. And what I've done is I've set up demonstration farms in 20 locations in North America right now for cloning when the grid goes down and food becomes scarce. Because when food becomes scarce, a zombie will be that high school kid out of food. Now, it's a metaphor. Now, basically, the grid is going to collapse shortly. And when it does, watch what happens next. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing children in and teaching them how to farm, because it's going to be them, not you or me, that saves this earth. And my partner that replaced Matt Stein when Matt died on me, Matt and I did urban survival skill workshops. We did a really important one in Las Vegas, Reno. It was in Reno. We did a really important one. And then he went and was climbing El Capitan when he fell to his death. And basically he had an aortic aneurysm and was actually dead before he hit the ground. My partner now, J.C. Cole, is in a 200-year-old family farm across the Hudson in New Jersey, where he's now building based on the course I taught when they weren't sending our children. Remember when COVID was happening and our children were not allowed to go to school? What I did is I did an online course for children on aquaculture. Part of the work I did when I was working at Boeing under Art Pilgrim and Lunar Base Alpha 1, hydroponics, which is different than aquaponics. And what he's doing is building a mobile aquaculture system that he's going to then move across North America to May, from New Jersey to Oregon, and we're going to clone it everywhere it stops. And aquaculture was a course I taught children, because you can build an aquaculture system from just spare parts laying around the house. It's simple. Hydroponics is more like a closed system that I would take to go to Alpha Centauri. And, I had the hydroponics was you have your plants, and the chickens are running around pooping through grading and feeding tilapia and the algae that then would be used as my nutrient on fishes, a closed system, that didn't need to get minerals from outside. We created our own in a closed system. And aquaculture is more like what you're doing. Now, what I did, the 150 truckloads, that was $10,000 a day in labor for 8 months. And every place has its problems. In Florida Everglades, as opposed to, timber. In Oregon, the last governor that was here gave away spotted owl that Paul Newman and I worked on for years trying to get that started up in the Trinities and Trinity Alps and all of that. And basically, there's nothing more to log, because all the log mills in Oregon now are filled with 6-inch logs, and they're discouraging farming. Why would they do that? And what I seek is a farm on the West Coast, because that's what I know best. And I'd like to manage a farm as a farm manager for free rent, and any profits I make, I want 10%. And I'll show you how to make money taking advantages that we have in this location to disadvantages you have in Colorado. And when Yellowstone goes off, take a look at what the future maps of America look like. Mine's the Navy map, but take a look at Scallion and what's his name? I forget his name now. He was predictions of what North America are going to look like.
Edgar Casey?
I'm sorry?
Edgar Casey?
Yes, thank you. I needed that. I have another, dementia. I'm dating, actually, Uncle Fester's sister's girlfriend.
So please. That's awesome.
I'm just kidding.
That'll make a great podcast.
Well, the problem is I'm 82 and I have 147 manuscripts to complete. And I need help because my Social Security isn't making it. And it only works on book sales. And while we have food stamps, I had to fill out the qualifications yesterday to continue getting food stamps. And it's really creepy. I'm not kidding.
Like the questions they asked you and stuff, or?
Yep.
Okay, so let me ask you about this, because to me it seems like as you mentioned earlier, you notice parallels from pre-World War II, World War II time to now. I'm noticing a lot of parallels also, and with the situation in Iran and the Middle East and the trillions of dollars in debt here in the States, it seems like there's something controlling politicians without, maybe even they don't know it. Like maybe they're just so into.
It's like I thought, positive and negative. Something is interfering with it. When you get one thought, there's a balance to move you into a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you meditate, to train your mind. Get me?
I hope so.
Well, you tell me. I did it. All roads lead to Rome in that regard. There's many different forms. I started with Ananda Marga, ended up with Sant Mat. S-A-N-T-M-A-T, 2 words. Path of the Masters. But they all go to the same place. Training your mind as a discipline. Just like you train your body, which is illusion, because there's other subtle bodies. The one I discovered that gave me tenure in anesthesiology was the microtubule, which is called chi, just outside the body, that at the moment of death, there's a 5-gram weight loss in the body. What is that? Structured water. 5 grams of structured water Jerry Pollack, who was my lead when I was working in anesthesiology, basically is enough memory water for 100,000 lifetimes of dreams. We're being mined as a metaphor. And I want to take control of my own body, even if I'm a sugar ant in Gaia's kitchen. I have my own ideas of how I want to be and how I want to die or not. I had an option. I could have gone on the Saturn 1 mission to Saturn and come back to meet your great-great-granddaughter. But I chose not to do that. I'm too old.
Tell us about that.
Huh?
Was that you were? When was
NASA
that?
is training the Saturn 1 project. Is some astronauts I'm training to figure out what that geometry is on the North Pole of Saturn. It's a wormhole, just exactly the same that you read in the Diamond Body. Wakey, full of croctons, he might suggest.
Is it like a mental thing? Like
It's more than mental, yes. That's a good place to start. Mental. That's where your start point. There's more going on, my dear Horatio. Heaven and hell.
When did they offer this? Like, when did this project start?
Oh, a long time ago when I did the project back in 1979. I took 12 scientists to Mars in 83. That's electromagic and yogatronics, 2 manuscripts I haven't completed yet. They're on my computer with the go bag. Let's see, the Pantheon, I got a whole bunch of stuff I'm writing. I've got a new screenplay called The Wall.
What's that about?
Ooh, that would be telling, wouldn't it? It's a workup. I've got the workup and a couple of sample things on it.
Oh.
Like I did. When I first did the workup, it was Bernard Shercliffe was my literary agent. He's the one that made the presentation to Fox, and they turned it down because it had too many people in it. I had 8 people, and they wanted me to shorten it because they didn't think it was going to be a success. So I shortened it down to a forensic lab and Moner, me. And forensic lab was my partner. And then they had me on set up in Canada, discovering like what a forensic lab might look like if you were walking into a university or something, because that's what I did for the military. I did all the paranormal studies under Dr. Karl Schleicher. He was a Nazi like von Braun that did the space program. I did the paranormal studies, things like the movies you might see like Hellboy. That was me trying to figure out what's going on. I never really figured out a lot of the things. I started trends toward it. I worked with Andrea Puharich out of SRI. I had access to JPL, Livermore, Battelle up in Seattle, Boeing. I was an instrumentation specialist that tried to understand what paranormal phenomena was. I flew over the Oregon vortex, the one here and out near Central Point, in a PBY at 15,000 feet with an interferometer. What bends light at 15,000 feet?
I have no idea.
A mini black hole in terms of our current understandings of physics. And the Earth has a whole series of mini black holes in a specific sacred geometry that every 12,000 years goes from this way to that way. Like binary, the Earth has a sun, Sol, it was Saturn, and Nibiru, blah, blah, blah. There's more going on, and we don't even have a clue.
So Saturn was a star at one point?
Yeah.
I've heard that from other people.
Well, it not only was a male and female. Our current Sol is a masculine.
Mm-hmm.
And I just talked to Luna Skywalker. She's an interesting person. Up in the Okanagan. She runs one of the bunkers up there. And she has a bunch of Mars rocks from Mars that came in on a meteor. And one of them sold for $3.4 million. And what she wants me to do is try to see if I can't sell them. We have all the paperwork and everything with it to validate that it was a meteorite that hit Earth that came from Mars. And how'd
that happen?
What's that?
How'd that happen?
Meteors happen all the time.
But from Mars?
Oh, well, what do you think Deimos and Phobos are? Moons? There's more going on here. When I say that, I can prove, look, when I took 12 NASA scientists to Mars, we never made it to the surface. But Mars, as a smaller planet, has more water on it than Earth does. And most of Earth's water is underground. Mars at one time was your Garden of Eden.
I guess the Valley Marineris.
And about 2 billion years ago, we left Mars because it became a desert when something happened between it and the asteroid belt.
So the Valley Marineris, that huge valley that's much larger than the Grand Canyon, that would make sense. Something created that, and then those pieces of rock went from
There's
Mars.
all kinds of theory that we entertain. Never mind. I lost you. Here you
I'm
are.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Something came in on my internet. I wanted to save it. I popped it up, and what happened is I changed screens again. There is no question that I'm been under a short leash. Let's call it a choke collar. I know something I don't, and I'm still an asset. Nobody dies of old age, like I said.
That's optimistic. I like that.
No, it's the truth of it. Look biblically. Depends on what Bible. When I came out, my parents were atheists, and when I came out of grad school, I knew something else was going on. So I studied Old Hebrew and Greek, learned the languages, and then studied with Gershom Scholem for 6 years, and did my own translations. There are 2 Dead Sea Scrolls from Qumran, that I translated. Both suggest you don't put the king of Jerusalem on a cross. It was politically incorrect during Pontius Pilate. They put his brother Simon on it. And the second older one, that's 120 years older than the fact, is that they gave Simon something to drink on the cross to get him off the cross before he was dead. Now, did that happen? I don't know. I wasn't there. But it seems to be inconsistent with some of the current Christian beliefs. The most important one was when Jesus said not to judge another, only yourself. And yet, all our wars have been judging others. What's going on? And how many different forms of Christianity are there? I mean, it's crazy.
Hundreds.
Now, I'm not a 5th plane mystic. I'm only 4th plane. I've smoked pot with Pir Vilayat Khan and Yogi Bhajan in my past. 5th plane mystic is someone I met in India that initiated me into Sant Mat. And that man was kind of like a Jesus, like Buddha or Muhammad or some of these others that were enlightened, that had knowledge that we don't understand, but somehow is, inspired us toward something more. That's what I hope to do with people. I'm not trying to be a 5th plane mystic. I know the difference, and I'm only 4th plane, but I can tell you that's the importance of knowledge versus wisdom. Castaneda called knowledge illusion. It's when you integrate it into using it for yourself that it becomes wisdom. And everybody does it differently, because what made us God's favored was choice. And that means a multiverse exists because of all the different decisions you made at breakfast this morning on what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. They all happened.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Stay tuned. Film at 11. Same bat channel. Same bat time.
I'm Batman.
Yeah. Well, I'm Robin. Holy popcorn, Batman! Holy popcorn, Batman! What are we going to do now?
I love that. Oh man, so
cool. Making you smile and laugh. That's why Black lives don't matter. Black lives were to polarize us. What matters is black humor. I have to laugh my way through this whole thing because it's painful. And thank you, Lord. I now know who I am and what I don't want to do. That's what this is about. Discovery of who you are and why you are unique. And everybody listening gets to some manner what I've just said. That's where your life is. discovery of what you are and who you are. That's why you're here in this dream state.
Real quick, I wanted to show off DRAM's website. It's richardallenmiller.com, and he has dozens of books there and awesome tutorials. He also has the Daily Conspiracy. You can sign up to that for free. It's for entertainment purposes only. That's also available on his website, and really cool Daily Conspiracy updates. Also, check out the full interview on our Patreon page. It's about an hour and a half. Great content. I've done dozens of interviews with DRAM, and those are available at leakproject.com and patreon.com. We've got 10 years worth of podcasts on our leakproject.com website. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Hit the bell. Be well. Be excellent to each other. Be the change you want to see. And part 3 is coming up.